All right, everybody, welcome back. Yo, ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that I think we can all relate to.
Yeah.
And that is note-taking. We're talking about taking notes that actually help us learn and remember, not just like, frantic scribbling and hoping for the best. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, totally. We've all been there, like trying to cram everything in, and then later it's just a jumbled mess.
Yeah, exactly. And for this deep dive, we've got some excerpts from a text that really breaks down this note-taking system. And it's not just any random system.
Right.
This was developed by a professor at Cornell University.
Pretty legit.
So that's got to count for something, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's been around for a while, which now it's stood the test of time. People actually find it useful.
Okay, so spill the beans. What is this magical Cornell note-taking system all about?
Well, first, let's just think about why good notes matter, right? We take notes to help us remember things, obviously. But it's more than that. It's about actually processing information, making connections, and creating a framework for understanding.
Yeah, like really making that information stick in your brain.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. When you have bad notes, what happens? You feel lost, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't remember what you learned,
Right.
and the material just doesn't click.
Yeah, you feel like you wasted your time.
Totally. So this system is all about avoiding that. It's about taking notes in a way that sets you up for success.
Gotcha. So walk me through it. How does this Cornell system work?
All right. Picture this. You've got your notebook or piece of paper. Now, instead of just writing across the whole page, you're going to draw a line down it,
Okay.
about a third of the way in from the left side. So now you've got two columns,
Got it.
a wider one on the right and a narrower one on the left. And then at the very bottom, you're going to leave some space for a summary.
Okay, I'm visualizing it. 2 columns and a summary section at the bottom.
Right. So you've got your 3 key zones. You've got the notes section, which is that big right-hand column.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the cues section, which is that skinnier left-hand column.
Okay.
And then you've got the summary section at the bottom.
All right, I'm with you. So break it down for me. What goes where?
Okay, let's start with that right-hand column, the notes section. This is your main note-taking area. During a lecture, while you're reading something, whatever it is, this is where you jot down the main points,
Here sits.
the key facts, and anything that really stands out to you.
So it's basically your traditional note-taking space, but with a twist, right?
Exactly. But here's the thing. Try to keep it concise. You don't need to write down every single word. Use short phrases, bullet points, even try using abbreviations or symbols if that helps you save time.
Oh, that's a good tip.
The idea is to capture the essence of the information quickly and efficiently. Oh, and don't forget about visuals.
Ooh, visuals. Always a good idea.
Right. Our brains just process visual information so much better. So if you're dealing with a complex process or trying to wrap your head around a tricky concept, don't be afraid to sketch out a diagram, draw a quick chart,
Yeah.
or even just doodle something that represents the idea. It can make a huge difference.
It's turning abstract ideas into something you can actually grasp. I love it.
Exactly. Okay, so now let's move over to that left-hand column, the cues section. This is where the real magic of the system comes in.
Okay, the cues section. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So you've taken your notes in the right-hand column, right? Now, after that note-taking session is over, that's when you go back and use this cues column to create prompts or triggers to help you remember what you wrote down.
So it's like creating a study guide for yourself as you go.
Yeah, it's about actively engaging with the material. Instead of just passively rereading your notes, you're actively trying to recall the information, which honestly is way more effective for learning.
Makes total sense. Give me an example. How would I use this cues section in practice?
Let's say you have a note in the right-hand column about photosynthesis, right?
Okay, photosynthesis.
In the cues column, you might write something like, what are the inputs and outputs of photosynthesis? Or how does sunlight play a role in photosynthesis? You're basically turning your notes into mini quiz questions.
Oh, I get it. It forces you to think about the material in a different way.
Exactly, and that's what makes it stick. Then when you're studying, you can cover up the notes section and use those cues to test yourself.
That's so smart. I've never thought about taking notes like that before.
It's a game changer. All right, now let's move on to the summary section at the bottom of the page. This is where you bring it all together.
Okay, the summary section, the big picture zone. What's the strategy here?
Think of it as the aha moment. In this section, you're going to summarize the main points from your notes. But here's the key. You have to put it into your own words. Don't just copy what you wrote before. Really try to synthesize the information and connect the dots.
So it's like you're teaching the material back to yourself.
Exactly. And you know what? It's amazing how much clearer things become when you have to explain them in your own words.
Totally. Plus, it helps you figure out what you really understand and what you still need to work on.
Right. You start to see the bigger picture. How does this new information relate to what you already know? What are the key takeaways? What questions do you still have?
It's like you're turning information into actual knowledge.
That's a great way to put it. And you know what's funny? As I was reading about this system, I realized it's not just for students. Like, I can totally see myself using this in meetings.
Oh, absolutely. I was just thinking the same thing.
Right. Imagine using this system to prep for a presentation, to absorb information from an article really quickly, or even just to satisfy your own curiosity about something. It's a tool for lifelong learning.
You know, you're blowing my mind right now. I'm thinking about all those times I've struggled to take notes during meetings. It's like I'm writing things down, but I'm not really processing them.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm definitely going to try using the Cornell system next time. It just seems so much more effective. But okay, meetings can be pretty fast-paced. Any tips for adapting this system to that kind of environment?
Oh, yeah, definitely. In a meeting, you really want to focus on capturing those key decisions. You know, any action items, deadlines, that sort of thing. You don't have to write down everything that's said. You can always go back and flesh out your notes later if you need to.
That's helpful. So to sum it all up for everyone listening, the Cornell Note Taking System is all about being structured, active, and engaged with the material.
Absolutely.
It's not just about mindlessly copying stuff down.
Right.
It's about creating a system that actually helps you learn and remember what you're studying.
And the best part is you can adapt it to fit your own needs. Whether you're a student or a professional or just someone who loves to learn new things, this system can seriously level up your note-taking game.
So if you're ready to take your note-taking to the next level, give the Cornell system a try. You might be surprised at how much it changes the way you learn. Until next time, stay curious, everyone.
See ya.
Bye. CCO.